Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. We're back with another review video, and in this one we're going to be talking about the 7 finalists of Finland's Uuden Musiikin Kilpailu. This has become sort of a tradition, and Finland always brings, in a way, their best game and their best artists to this competition. What did you guys think of the overall UMK this year?
I think this has got to be the strongest edition since I've started watching. There's not a single song in this lineup that I don't at least like, so I think that's really great. And I think generally UMK has such a good formula in that compared to other selections, maybe where we have like quality over quantity, we've got 7 really good songs here, and there's something for everyone, lots of different genres going on. And yeah, I think it's a great selection, probably the strongest of the year so far, as the time of recording.
Yeah, I think that this is very strong national final once again, and there's many different kind of songs. And even if the song doesn't win UMK, I think that many of them will become big hits in Finland, like they have been in previous years. So I think very strong, very good songs. I like them all.
Well, it's very obvious that Finland likes to have fun. It's one of the happiest countries in the world for a reason, and they always show it on stage. This year was a very pleasant surprise because, I didn't think that anything could top UMK 2024. And this was a very, very pleasant surprise to have. Last year we had the wildness of Mua and No Rules. And this year they said, you know what, we're going to take it about like 10,000 notches. And they brought us this amazing lineup. And honestly, whichever song wins, it's going to be great, a great representative for Finland. And I also have to commend them for sending so much girl bops this year, because there is a very iconic lineup of female artists this year, and it's going to be awesome to see any of them shining on stage, whether it's on UMK or in Eurovision stage.
I feel like I'm going to be the party pooper here a little bit today, because for me, this was sort of like a similar edition like last year's. There's some outstanding songs, there are some surprises, there are many powerful voices, but the quality overall for me is pretty much the same as last year, and it still doesn't really beat UMK 2021 or 2022, for example, but saying that, it's still pretty good, and it's still better than quite a few of the national selections that we have during this season. Guys, let's dive in, and let's start with Viivi and her song Aina. Bea, what did you think about this one?
Out of every song, this is on the lowest, just because I'm not a very big ballad person, but I think it was a very pretty song overall. I like the violins, and I like the overall ambience, and the video was very, very nice too. Kudos for it being in Finnish, though. It's always very nice to see an entry in a native language. And I looked up the lyrics because I like to, know a little bit more about the songs. And this is a love song about wanting to grow old with someone you love and wanting to find someone to be your comfort person and be with them forever. It's a very, very nice theme. So yeah, even though it's not my cup of tea, it's a very pretty song, and I can see why people like it.
Okay, and for me, I think this song is such a beautiful ballad, and I think it has the most beautiful and meaningful lyrics of this year's UMK. And Viivi has a very recognizable voice. Like if you hear her singing in the radio, you know immediately that it's her who's singing. And I like Viivi's voice. It's very strong, and it fits to a song like this. So, and I love how the Finnish language sounds in this song. Like the lyrics show the beauty of my own native language. And I've never thought about how beautiful, for example, simple words like Aina or something like that sounds when it's sing. And I remember Viivi has been around quite a long time, because I remember watching The Voice Kids back in 2013, where she was in the first season, and I remember that she finished second or something. And I think that she has like kept some of that audacity that she had already then, even though she has developed a lot of as a singer and a performer, of course, because she has grown since. But I think I can imagine this song to become a wedding song for especially like young couples, and I can imagine that this is listened and to the weddings, and I really like this one. I do. I think it's a beautiful ballad. Not my favorite of the songs, but I do like it a lot.
I think Finnish actually sounds beautiful in like most of the songs. So same as for this one. Out of 10 for Viivi. Bea,
I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Nina?
I gave it 9 out of 10.
For me, this one's going to be a 7. Sophie?
I think this is probably my favorite song of the year so far.
Oh, wow.
I absolutely love this. I think it's gorgeous. So I've given it a 9.
That gives 31 points to Viivi. Let's continue with Costee and Sekaisin. Nina?
I have to admit that Costee's music wasn't very familiar to me, even though I did know his name and I know he's quite a popular artist here in Finland. But it's not my kind of music, so I didn't know many of his songs. I think the song is quite good and the chorus is very catchy. I've sang it in my head over this week many times, but I'm not the biggest fan of his style of singing or his voice. I don't like it that much, but that's just me, my opinion. And I think this is probably another hit song for Costee, but I don't see it on the Eurovision stage.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I don't think this is in contention for the win. But I really do enjoy this. And I think, like you said, I think this is definitely going to be a big hit because the chorus is so memorable. It's such like a hook, such a catchy melody. And I think even after just listening to it once, it was kind of looping around my head and I really felt the urge that I wanted to listen to it again. And this sort of style of song, it was kind of giving me like some of the rappers that we get in Sanremo, like, I don't know, Joliet, that type of thing. And that is kind of really up my street. So I do really like this, but I think it does kind of lack a big Eurovision-y moment. And I think it's maybe going to get lost on the night of UMK. But I do really like this still.
Well, let's score Costee's song out of 10. Nina?
I gave it 7 out of 10.
This is one of my least favorites as well. I gave it a 5. Sophie?
8.
Bea?
I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's not very remarkable, but it did really remind me of Komme and Benjamin, which I really liked. So yeah,
I got
kudos
that
for
too.
that.
Yeah.
Neea River is up next with Nightmares. And this was the first song that was released. And I gotta say that when I heard it, I sort of expected a little bit more. I saw that Neea was promoting her song afterwards in her social medias, and that she was saying that the song reached #1 in the charts and it was charting even in the US. And I mean, very well done, and congratulations to her for that. But I personally just don't see anything that's that special with this song. The structure of it and perhaps also the theme of the song remind me a little bit too much of Sara Aalto's Monsters, which again I wasn't overly a fan of, to be honest. And yeah, if the song comes on, and it will surely at any Eurovision party, I'll dance to it. I'll probably sing along to it as well because the lyrics are also super easy to remember or figure out because again they're too similar to Sara Aalto's Monsters. Like Sara Aalto sings, "I ain't gonna hold on to these monsters anymore." Neea sings, "I don't see the nightmares, not anymore." I don't know, similarities, but I don't think that I'll really be in the mood to just like go to my Spotify or YouTube or anything and choose to look up this song and listen to it, or let's say save it. But it's okay for what it is, but for me, this is just nothing too special. It's all right.
I mean, it's a girl bop for sure. It screams girl bop all over, and it's going to have surely a very nice staging with dancers and stuff. It's that kind of song. It kind of reminded me of Lorene's Euphoria a little bit. So I see why everyone would be hooked to it. It was a very, very strong start to what the UMK lineup was this year. I liked it. I'm a very, very big Eurodance girly, so songs like this are right up my alley. But uh, this is not my favorite one, but I think it's gonna be like my third place or so. If it ranks high, I'll see why. But it's not like I'm not going crazy over it, but it's very good.
Well, let's score it out of 10. I'll start with a 6. Sophie.
I love this. I think this should be used as an example in like music production classes because the production on this is so like crisp and clean and it's just like joy to my ears. I absolutely love it. So I've given it a 9.
Bea.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Nina.
I gave it 9 out of 10.
She beats Viivi by 1 point.
Mm.
All right. Next up, we have Nelli Matula with Hitaammin, hautaan. Nina.
I think Nelli is an amazing singer. She's really good, maybe the best. Her vocal skills may be the best ones in this year's UMK. And but I don't think this song lets her to show how great she is. Like she could sing something a little bit harder, but I think this song is good and the chorus is very catchy and some parts I don't think Nelly's articulation is quite clear because some lyrics are hard for me to understand what she sings in some parts, but mostly it's good. But I like the lyrics of the song and I like the message of it, like why hurry, because in the end we're going to end up in the same place, all of us, and why hurry to go to grave quickly. So the lyrics of the song are quite good and I like the message. And I like Nelly very much, but I don't think this is the winner of UMK 25, to be honest.
I don't know what's up with UMK and this sort of theme, because there was a song performed by Danny a couple of years ago, also in Finnish, which was it was titled, I don't remember I cannot pronounce the Finnish title properly ever, but it was called like The Day Everyone Loves Me.
Yeah.
And this is sort of like a similar sort of feel to it. Here, I love in a way, like a contradiction that the video of the song gives compared to the theme of the song, because everything is like so pink and so bright, and it just seems like happy, dancey, but with sort of like a dark theme, let's say. But at the same time, there is something that's just like simply charming about this entry, and I can't get rid of that feel. It's very well produced, like all of the songs. But for me, for some reason that I cannot explain, this one really stands out. It's just effortless, but at the same time, it's very powerful, it's very catchy, and like I couldn't sing a line of this song for my life, to be perfectly honest. But the melody of it just stays in my head for a while whenever I listen to this song. So I really like it, and it's actually one of my favorites in this year's UMK. But let's score it out of 10. Nina.
I gave it 8 out of 10.
This is going to be an 8 for me as well, actually. Sophie?
Same here, 8.
Bea?
Yeah, it's going to be an 8 for me too. It's very haunting, but I know it's not like a top-notch song. It's good, but not that good.
We all agreed. It's 32 for Nelly, and that ties her with Neea River. Goldielocks is next with Made Of. Bea?
Oh, this song was very, very quirky. I found the MV to be very, very quirky as well. And I like the inflections of her voice. She is clearly here to have a good time and make us all have a good time. She's not worried about appearances or anything, but in the best way. She's like, this is me, this is what I am. I'll show you what I'm made of. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, but I'm not going to shy away from anything. And I loved her vibes. It reminded me a lot of last year's Kuori Mua, which was equally as fun. She was great. It throws me off a little bit. Something about her English pronunciation throws me off a little bit, but beyond that, it is a very fun song, and I can see people enjoying it all over Finland and the world. I know I myself did enjoy it a lot. So yeah, I cannot wait to see it on stage because I just know she's going to come out with something that is going to surprise us all.
Yeah, I think when the UMK lineup was announced, this was another one that I was quite looking forward to, purely based off like appearances, because the way Goldielocks dresses and her like aesthetic is just like completely up my street. And I think they referred to her in the like VTs and stuff. They're like, she's like a dark pop artist. So that like really intrigued me. And I was thinking like, my brain went to entries like Monster Like Me, Goodbye to Yesterday, that sort of thing. And I think the song we got was not necessarily what I was expecting. I think, you know, it's more of like it is kind of, when you strip back her aesthetic and the styling and the music video and everything, it is just like a bog standard, really good pop song with like a funky guitar riff, good bass line, all of these really good things. But it's still delivered for me, and I still think this is really good. But I think it might suffer the same fate as Sekaisin in terms of, you know, it's got like a really catchy chorus, but maybe it doesn't necessarily have like a standout moment. But I can see her kind of taking all of the elements from the music video, kind of putting that into some really cool, memorable staging, and maybe it will do better than I expect. But for now, I think maybe this is not in the running, but I do really enjoy listening to it.
Made of out of 10, Bea.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Nina?
9 out of 10.
Oh, wow. I feel bad now. I'm going to give this one a 5. Sorry. Sophie?
8.
That's 29 points for Goldielocks, and that puts her into second to last place. And last but not least, we have one of the top favorites. It's Erika Vikman with Ich komme. Nina?
At first, I have to say that I really love Erika. I think that she's partly to thank that UMK is such a big thing and popular competition nowadays, because Cicciolina back in 2020, that was the first big hit of UMK. So I think that's why most artists wanted to apply in UMK, because of and Erika's career took a big step forward of UMK 2020. And I think that she also changed the voting system of UMK, because before her, it was like 50-50 between juries and the public. But when she lost, then people were very, very angry about that. So they changed it like 75% public and 25% juries. So she had a big impact on UMK, I think. And in 2020, I really loved Cicciolina, but I wasn't a big fan of the live performance. I think that she has developed as a performer. I've seen her live once, and she was great, with such a great energy and such a great live singing and all that. And I really hope that this year the live performance is a little bit better than back in 2020. And I think that as a song, Ich komme is a good song, and it's very Erika style song. And I love how she's loyal to her own style. And when I heard that the song was written by Kisu and her husband Jori, they are like, Kisu is very important artist to me, because I listened to her music a lot at some point. And I think she's one of the best Finnish songwriters. And then on the other hand, Jori has composed some PMMP's song, which is a popular Finnish band and very important band to me. And I've listened to them a lot when I was a teenager and young adult. So I was very excited. I heard that these songwriters were writing Erika's song. And I think even though Ich komme is very different than Kisu's own songs or the songs of PMMP, you can hear that there's a handprint of Kisu and Jori there, and they managed to write a song that is very Erika. And for me, that just show that they are very good songwriters. And the song is very disco, very catchy, and very Erika, as I've said before already. And this is not my favorite song from Erika. I think she has some better, like Syntisten pöytä or Kateus, or I like this, but not the best Erika has done.
I am a huge Erika Vikman fan. I love her. I love her style. I love her staging. I love her songs. I was looping Roshka all over last year. Her collaboration with Katia, I was looping it all over last year because it's just that good. And when I found out that she was going to try again for Eurovision, I was like, yay! Finally, I was waiting for her to make like a big comeback like this. When I first heard the song, I was blown away truly because I might be a bit biased, but I love everything that Erika does, and this was not the exception. I love the gold aesthetics and the 80s-esque vibe of the song, the synths and the choruses and her usage of words, which was very strategic. It's a bit risque for a Eurovision entry, but I love risque entries. I love when an entry pushes the boundary of what's appropriate and what's not, and makes you really think about that. And this is one of those songs. I cannot wait to see it on stage because I just know Erika's going to deliver something very big and very great, and I cannot wait to see what that is.
I just have to add that I also had like huge expectations because I also love Cicciolina, and it was one of my top favorite national final entries in 2020. But I felt a little bit let down, and those expectations of mine, they just like weren't entirely met. During the second listening, it sounded better, but I still don't get like this like dance beat on crack towards the end of the song. It just feels like completely unnecessary to speed it up that much. It's a good song, but yeah. Anyways, ich komme out of 10. Nina,
9 out of 10 for me.
for me, this is going to be a 7. Sophie?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about this at first. I think there's something very bizarre about the chorus. Like the chords are quite like discordant, it doesn't quite match. But the more I listen to it, the more I think it's like absolutely genius and really, really brilliant. And I can't help but notice that a lot of the people who are taking issue with the risque nature of this performance and this package happen to be men. So I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, love this. 8.
I feel called out a little bit here.
Yeah, sorry, Ivan, not including Ivan.
There.
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
That's 33 points for Erika. And with that, Erika Vikman is the favorite of the four of us. Neea River and Nelli Matula are tied for second place with just 1 point behind Erika Vikman as they scored 32. Viivi and Goldielocks complete our top 5. Thank you all for watching this video. Let us know in the comment section down below whether you agree, whether you disagree with any of our thoughts. Let us also know who your personal favorites are and who you're most looking forward to seeing in this year's UMK. Also, subscribe to our channel to be up to date with all of our upcoming videos. There's going to be a whole bunch of interviews with national final artists. There's going to be other review videos like this one, but also some other material that we're preparing for you for this Eurovision season. Thank you, Nina, Sophie, and Bea for joining me for this video, and we're going to see all of you very soon with our next video. Bye, everyone.